Hello, this is Clementine from Visions of Atlantis, and you're watching CMS TV.
It is your classic metal show right here on the classicmetalshow.com. Kicking off the show tonight, we heard Black and Blue with Heat It Up and Burn It Out. It's something we need on a cold Saturday night. And we just heard Cinderella from their debut release, Night Songs, with Once Around the Ride. And a guy who's been around once or twice or maybe thrice, my good friend and partner, Chris Akin. What's going on, Chris?
What is up, man? How we doing?
How you doing? You've been to have a busy week this week.
I did have a pretty busy week and had a health scare and everything else. It's been crazy this week.
A health scare? What the hell happened now?
Oh, dude, my life. I am literally an example of just falling apart at the seams. You should have played that song instead from Cinderella.
Well, I wasn't aware you were having issues.
So a lot of people probably noticed that there was no Seth Williams show on Monday, and Chris Akin Presents got moved to Tuesday.
Okay.
The reason was I woke up Monday morning, and I could not hear. And when I say I could not hear, I mean literally everything sounded like the teacher in Peanuts in the Charlie Brown. It was wah, 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 wah. I couldn't hear anything. Nothing. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Now, for people that don't know, and you might even be one of them, my right ear only has 10% hearing anyway. Because when I got blown up, the molten metal dropped down my ear canal and burned away my eardrum.
All right.
So literally all I can hear out of this side is next to nothing. I can hear a little tiny bit, but pretty much nothing.
Okay.
So I'm pretty dependent on the left ear, which, if it stops working, I got a real fucking problem. So, needless to say, I couldn't fucking hear, and I was like, what is going on? And I didn't know what to do. So I'm like taking a hot shower, and I'm trying to clean out my ear, and I went through 400 fucking Q-tips trying to clean out my ear. Nothing. So I looked it up online. I was literally on hold with the doctor, who I don't know how I was going to talk to him, because he'd have been talking to me on the phone and I'd heard,
Right.
But I was trying to call and get an emergency appointment into the doctor, and I stumbled across a thing that said, Q-tips are bad. I don't know if you know that or not, but I did not know that.
Yeah. They're bad if you don't do it properly.
Or if you dig too deep or whatever, which I guess I did. But what ended up happening was I ended up with earwax that got impacted deeply into my ear to where it was completely blocking my eardrum.
Right.
So I got some of those like extra strength earwax breaker-upper drops. I don't know what they're called, but and I got some kind of a kit that had a little ball on it that you fill with hot water. And I went through this routine all day long Monday where I was dropping eardrops in, waiting 10 minutes, then filling my ear with hot water, then, shaking it out. And finally about 4:00 in the afternoon, I felt something pop in my ear.
Yeah.
And it was the wax coming off of the eardrum or whatever was blocked up. It popped off.
Yeah.
To where I could hear again. But I didn't hear really again good until about Wednesday.
Right.
But it scared the shit out of me, man.
Yeah, well,
oh my God. Oh my God, not having hearing. Probably not good for a podcast guy.
Sure.
So yeah, that was my health scare for this week. I can't catch a break, man. I just can't.
Self-inflicted.
It really is, but yeah, after that I was like, okay, no more Q-tips ever.
Right.
I'm done with that, which is unfortunate because I have like 3 cases of them because I bought them. I got them on sale or something. It was like $10 for like 3,000, Q-tips.
Right.
So it's like, all right, there goes that $10 right in the old garbage can. So sign up to the CMS network. I need your $10.
Right. Of course. Of course.
So yeah, but other than that, I mean, just a busy week. I mean, once that was done, it was just work and interviewing like crazy for Chris Akin Presents, for the Seth Show, for Metal Shop. Just busy.
Sure. Well, like
I didn't have as good of a week as you.
Well, I didn't have a great week. I just was able to get out of the house on Tuesday night.
But that had to be fun.
Well, it was good. I mean, being able to go to a live show that isn't far from me. I feel like you and the only show I'll go to if it comes to the casino.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
But yeah, I ventured out this week. I hung out with our good friend Chips Enuff.
Yeah, how was that?
And he's always good, dude. It's just kind of funny. I texted him earlier in the week. I said, "Hey, I'm coming out to that show." I brought him a CMS shirt.
Okay.
He goes, "Yeah, bring it. I'll wear it on tour." So I'm not sure how this works for this. Some local promoter here. We talked about this on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But just recently, this local promoter has been bringing in, I guess if you want to refer to them as national acts.
Mm-hmm.
But a week ago, he brought in LA Guns. This past week, he brought in Bad Marriage, which features Tommy Skio, formerly a Tesla, on guitar with Enough's Enough, and the great Glenn Hughes.
Right.
And coming up shows are Firewind. He's got Striper coming in. He's got a bunch of like tribute shows coming in, just all kinds of stuff. And this is a small town. This is a town that you could throw a rock from end to end.
Nice.
As the old Chevy van song goes.
That's right. Sammy Johns once told us.
Exactly. And literally, this is a small town. This is a town that John Mellencamp sings about.
Okay.
But there's an old movie theater that they converted into like a music venue. And I knew where it was. I'd been by it numerous times. I'd never been in there.
Right.
But they're holding concerts in this place. And so I went in and I bought a ticket at the door. It was $35. And, I went to see Enough's Enough and Glenn Hughes along with Bad Marriage. I wasn't familiar with Bad Marriage until you made me aware of them. I wasn't aware that Tommy Skio was playing live these days with this band. And so I decided I'd venture out because it's always a good hang to see our good friend Chip. And I walked in and there's Chip at the merch booth just working.
Hey, brother.
He's there, taking pictures and selling merch and, doing it all, running credit cards, collecting money. He's a one-man act down there.
Right.
And I kind of stood there. He was chit-chatting with somebody and I just kind of walked up on him and kind of stood to the side. He didn't realize I was standing there, and then he was done chatting with whomever it was. And he turned and I said, "Hey, rock star." And he goes, "Neeley, it's so good to have you come out to the show.
Dude, I'm glad you made it.
I'm always so glad that you came out to the show. It's always so good to see you.
I can't make it to your house, but you made it out to my show."
Well, that was kind of funny. I said to him, "Well, you made it this far, Chip. 10 more minutes and you could be at my place." I said, "So what's it going to take?"
Nice.
I said, "It's been 20 years. I said, I've lived in this area for 20 years and I've yet to get you to come to the show." And he goes, "Listen," he says, "I'm working all year. I'm going to Europe in March." He says, "I'm going to be off between April 4th and the 27th or something." He says, let's get it done then."
All right.
I said, "Well, I'm going to hold you to it." I said, "Do I need to send a car for you?" I'm being serious about this now. I said, "Do I need to send a car for you? What do I need to do?" I mean, what do I have to do to accommodate you to come out to the place and be able to get home safely and all these other
Right,
things?
sure.
So what do I need to do? I said, whatever it takes, that's what I'll do. Well, we'll make this happen. That's not all that necessary. We'll make this happen. I'm just like, okay.
Do you got a good pizza place?
So yeah, I hung out with Chip for a good portion of the evening, and like I said, he was working the merch booth there while Bad Marriage was playing, and then they were doing the changeover on the stage, and he goes, "Well, I gotta go play."
Nice.
So he made his way, back to the backstage area, and then right after the show was over, his set was over. Right back to the merch booth back there, and dealing and selling shirts and CDs and albums and everything that he needs to do. It's just kind of funny. I think he was generally the merch guy.
Well, how come he doesn't have his band guys do it?
I don't know the answer. I maybe he doesn't trust them. I don't know.
Or I wonder if maybe it's just because he's there, he'll sell more merch.
Maybe.
Probably a lot of people will recognize him because he is recognizable,
and he's got his big goofy glasses,
and the hat, But maybe that's what it is that when he's back there, people will come and buy something to fucking get it signed.
Yeah,
probably true.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of funny because while I was standing there chatting with him, some young kid walked up and he says to Chip, he says, I'm not here to buy any merch. I really don't have the money for it. He says, all I really want, if I can I get a picture without having to buy something?
Okay.
And Chip is like, well, yeah, of course. Come around here. Let me take a picture. And so the kid took a picture with him and stuff. And it was so funny because this kid, he looked like a young Ray Gillen.
Oh, nice.
Just like Ray Gillen. And so after he was done taking a picture and stuff, I go, Chip. I said, doesn't this kid look like a young Ray Gillen? He goes, that's who he looks like. He goes, you look like a young Ray Gillen, And he goes, in fact, I'm going to do you one better. So he picked up their greatest hits, Enough's greatest hits CD, and peeled the cellophane off of it and signed it and gave him one.
Well, that's pretty nice.
And he goes, see, I do stuff like that all the time. I'm a nice guy. I said, I don't think anybody's ever doubted that, Chip. And he goes, yeah, you and Chris, I talk about you guys all the time. He says, people come up and say, do you know that classic metal show? And I go, yeah, that's my good friend. He goes, they're always making fun of you on there, right? He goes, that's because they love me.
He's right. I gotta say too, in fairness to Chip, to back up his words, he is the most regular follower and sharer on Instagram of our stuff.
Is that right?
Every single day I get some kind of it gives you the little notifications about, so-and-so shared this or reposted this or whatever. Every day there's a Chips Enuff one. Every single day.
So I took, obviously I took video.
Sure.
And I think I took video the way you should take video at a live performance if you're going to post it somewhere.
You should have punched the one guy that as soon as you started shooting the one video stood up. You should have punched him.
I know.
It's not your fault.
I told you in the text that side of the theater, people just couldn't sit still. They had to get up 10 times to go back and get a beer every 5 minutes. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, total dicks.
The same people, too. The same people. Come back, sit down. 3 minutes later, they're up wandering around. Back, sit down. Come back, wander around. Mostly the women.
Yeah.
Mostly the women. Up, wander around. Come on back. Get up, wander around. He's like, where are you going? What are you doing? Sit down. Enjoy the show.
Come on. There's an open bar.
I took some video. Obviously, you posted it out there for the CMS locals members.
Yes.
And, I took about 2 to 3 minutes of each song with Enough's Enough and, Glenn Hughes,
It's a long video. It's like
Yeah,
25 minutes when I put it together. Yeah.
I took like four songs of Chip, and I took about 5 or 6 songs of Glenn.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good representation of what I was watching. I tried to capture the first 2 to 3 minutes of each song.
Yeah.
So you kind of got an idea what they were up to. And overall, for a small theater, it was a good show. I estimated that place holds maybe 350 people.
Right. That's tiny for Glenn Hughes.
I'm trying to think, what is that promoter paying for a Glenn Hughes Enough's Enough Bad Marriage show on a Tuesday night? What do you think? What do you think that package costs?
10 G's.
10? You think? 10,000? Huh?
You think less?
No, I think more.
Nah.
You don't think Glenn Hughes?
Well, I mean, the tickets were what's the 3,000 or 350 times 10 grand would be what? 35 grand? No,
it's like I said, the average ticket was like around $35.
So $35 times 350.
I'm going to say there was about 300 people there.
Okay, so times 300. That's only 10 grand.
35. Yeah, that's 10,500.
So it's a door deal.
It probably is.
I mean, he's not going to pay $20,000. He'll lose his ass.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, what does a Glenn Hughes Enough's Enough Bad Marriage package command on a Tuesday night in bumfuck Indiana?
I'm thinking it's 10 grand that they'll happily take because it's in between bigger shows. Because I know the night before they played the Arcada. How big is the Arcada?
900.
So that's not that much bigger, but it's still 3 times bigger.
3 times bigger.
And it was sold out. So they probably made their 20 there. 25 there.
Right.
And this is the travel day in between
this is the gas show.
Yeah, this is between the good show and the good show. And right, I think the next night they were going to
like Cincinnati or something.
Yeah, somewhere else big.
Yeah.
So they needed to, they had to fill a day. So they filled it in Hobart. Is that Hobart?
Hobart.
Hobart.
Hobart. It's like the Burt show. Hobart. Yeah.
Did you leave your emotional load in the seats?
Yeah, exactly. But to bring, national acts into the little town and play the theater there for 350 people who show up, on a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. I mean, if he paid 10 grand, he probably made 2,500 at the bar.
Yeah.
And so he wins on a Tuesday. Shit, dude, as somebody that owns a brick and mortar business, you make any money on a Tuesday, you're thrilled.
No, I agree. But, again, he has to pay the overhead. He has to pay the help and the security and the bartender and obviously the production crew who, the people who help pull the equipment in. And I don't know if they rented the back line or if they brought it with them. I'm not really sure. But, there's a lot of costs involved. It's just like, wow, okay, well, what's a Glenn Hughes command as far as, a show? And obviously the show was a quality show. He did a great job, from what I watched. And, hopefully it translated through the videos I took,
It seemed to. I watched it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, so...
I would put it on screen, but fuck them. Pay for it.
Yeah. So overall, great show. Good to see Chip as always. It's always good to see my brother.
It's great to see you, bro. Glad you're still doing it. Keeping it alive.
So I told Chip, I said, yeah, I shot some video of your set. I said, we're going to put it up online on our site. And, I can't thank you enough.
That's funny. That's great. He's such a good dude. I wish there was a way we could convince more people to like Enuff's Enough. I love them personally. They're one of my absolute favorite bands. But I know most people, they're a little too close to the Beatles and they're a little too hair band and they're a little too this and they're a little too that. But you know, I love him, and Chip is such a nice guy.
Yeah,
Like
he
he's the nice as much as whoever that's telling him that we're fucking with him. You know, it's only out of love because we both love Chip.
Of course.
Absolute 100%. There is no negativity out of.
I would say
out of us.
80% of the reason why I went out was to see Chip.
Of course, yeah, yeah. Dude, I've gone to see Chip play just to see Chip, not even to see him play,
Right.
just to see Chip. You know, I've done that a few times. But
Yeah, you know, after his set was over, how'd my voice sound? I said,
do I sound good?
I said, you sounded like yourself. I said, even Chris said you sounded good. I said, I sent Chris all the videos. He said, you sounded great. Oh, you tell Chris. I said, hey
there, brother.
I said, well, we're gonna have you at the show, Chip. I said, you got to come down.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, it was fun. It was a good show. I didn't get to see Tommy Skio. I don't know where he went. Saw his bandmates all hanging around and stuff, but Tommy, I don't know where he went. If he just stayed backstage or went on the bus or
He's a big
whatever.
star.
Yeah,
He's a big
But they
star. He had to leave.
Yeah, I guess. But they had the full travel bus. They had the big tour bus. So 3 bands on one bus.
Ooh, boy.
But
that's got to be comfortable.
Well, there's usually 12 bunks, so there's enough room for all of them,
Yeah. There's enough room, but Jesus Christ. 12 guys on a bus? That's a bit tight. That's a tight. Not so much the sleeping, it's everything else that's tight.
Right, of course.
Like when they're watching TV or whatever, and they're all trying to jam into one of them little tiny couches or whatever.
Right. Yep. Well, that's the price you pay to it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll.
That's right.
Yeah, so overall, good show, fun. Fun to get out. Nice to be able to go to a venue that's not far from me.
Sure.
I was home and in bed by 11.
Oh, that's nice. That's perfect.
It was just like, okay, show's over at 10:30. Said my goodbyes and out the door, and I was home in bed. By
so you
11
literally
o'clock.
drove home, changed clothes, and went right out and saw the show for 3 hours and came home.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's how it all worked out.
Yeah, I know Eric, or not Eric necessarily, but Eric's involved. Piercy announced at the casino. And I'm like, oh, I'm definitely going to that one.
So he's playing the Roxino.
Yeah. Him with my new arch enemy, Quiet Riot.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that should be fun.
Yeah, I'll probably not go backstage. I'll just hang out.
I
probably will.
I would just go face to face with you.
I probably will and just be like, what the fuck is your problem, bro?
I supported you heavily for
Still
decades.
do.
That's what I'm saying.
Still do.
It's like for decades, and you got an issue with me.
And you don't bring it to me.
Yeah.
That's the bigger issue to me, is not that he has an issue with me, that he doesn't bring it to me.
Well, remember, he had his nose all out of joint about me.
Yeah.
I faced him down at Farm Rock. I walked right up to him and I said, what's the issue here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I may not. At this point in my life, I really don't care. I'm certainly not going to run away, but I mean, I was talking to Eric, and he's talking about they might come in a day early, so we might go do something.
Oh, that's
go
cool.
like barbecue or something, and
sure.
Go.
When are they playing?
It's in like June or July.
Okay.
It's not anytime soon. I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, but
all right.
Yeah, I got the email from whoever, from Ticketmaster or whatever, that says Stephen Piercy
Nice.
at the Roxino. I was like, fucking right.
Well, depending on when that is, I may just come over.
Yeah, why not? It'd be fun.
Yeah. I always like seeing Steven and company.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be fun, and the Roxino is such a cool place to see a show.
Right.
Let's see. I'm looking. Stephen Piercy. Problem is, I can't even look through my email for Stephen Piercy anymore because there's like 10,000 of them with Eric.
Right.
There's so many Eric things, and they come up as Stephen Piercy. It is. Well, that ain't it. The tickets went on sale Friday. The show.
It's tickets.
What is that?
Yeah.
Tickets. The show is Saturday, July 20th.
Well, I may just come for that show.
If you're in the country.
Well, that won't be till August.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that's usually right around the same time.
But yeah,
Yes.
I mean, if it's a Saturday and you plan on going,
I'm going. I'm giving notice now. There will not be a live show on July the 20th.
Well, if you're going on a Saturday and the show obviously is on a Saturday, I may make the trip over on Friday and go home Sunday.
Yeah, well, that'd be fun.
So we could all hang with the Piercy boys.
That's right.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
I'm in.
Come over and visit my dad, and come visit with you, and
hell yeah,
Steven, and hang with Eric, and sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, sounds fun to me.
Yep.
I'm definitely going. So Eric, I think would probably drive over here and shoot me in the face if I just was like, I can't go.
It's too far.
It's too far. It's 10 minutes.
Yeah, too far. It's too long.
Can you guys play in my backyard?
Yeah.
Shit, that Roxino damn near is my backyard.
Yeah, pretty much.
So close.
All right. Well, I'll pencil that in on the old calendar.
Yeah, put that one down.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, sounds good. All right, we got our plan for July 20th.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, good. Perfect. All right, what's the next order of business?
I don't know. What is the next order of business? Do we have something else to discuss here?
Well, TV watching. We always open the show with some TV.
Oh, did you watch that show?
I did watch that show that with what's his name? The Australian fella.
Jim Jeffries.
Yeah, Jim Jeffries, the comedian.
Yeah, the show is called we'll get into it in a second. It's a series on whatever that fucking channel is called.
Max.
HBO Max, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's called Death by Fame. And they're in the middle of their second year. But I saw this one episode. I was watching. I'll just give the backstory real quick. I was watching. I know you're a fan of comedians as well. And I know you like Jim Jeffries.
Yeah, I do like Jim Jeffries, yeah.
So when I started watching this and I started hearing what was being said, I was like, oh, fuck, I got to send this to Neeley. So I texted you, and you can attest to this. I don't tell you very often to watch anything.
Right.
I'm just like, hey, if you want to check something out, usually check this. Today I was like, watch this show. Watch this episode. And I even gave you the episode. Episode 2.
I watched it.
Yeah. Would you care to set it up, or do you want me to set it up?
Well, you set it up. I mean, you're the one who stumbled on it.
Yeah. So what goes on this show is they take stories about either celebrities or people that work with celebrities that have committed heinous crimes. And then ultimately somebody dies. So it's a lot of murders, a lot of suicides, a lot of crazy shit, right? Apparently, and I don't even remember this.
I'll follow up once you set this up.
Apparently, there was an engineer or producer guy that was working on a TV show called Legit. That Jim Jeffries, it was like a Jim Jeffries show.
Yeah,
his pilot or whatever.
It's a show that's based on Jim Jeffries'
life
career, his life and his career.
Well, he was working with this guy, and this guy just went berserk at some point, and not only did he kill his girlfriend, but he kept her alive, scalped her, cut her skin off, bit holes in her. It was fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
It was, and it was so heinous that even Jim Jeffries, who likes to goof on everything, was like, I don't know how this isn't a bigger story. This is worse than Jeffrey Dahmer. He said that a couple times.
And that's the whole thing. And to answer your question or your comment that you just made 2 minutes ago is, how come we never heard about this? and it didn't really make headline news, and it wasn't all over
No.
the place or anything. It was just another day in Los Angeles, but the heinous, morbid way that this kid hacked up his girlfriend,
And in multiple rooms and stuff. I mean, it was fucked.
yeah. But the thing is, this kid was basically the son of a very wealthy real estate mogul from Canada.
Right. Mm-hmm.
His father, they referred to him as the Donald Trump of Canada.
Right.
Because he was a big real estate guy and he was worth millions of dollars. And this kid didn't even have to work, but he was trying to make his name in Hollywood and be a screenwriter or a producer, or he was trying to break into the business. But in all reality, his dad was supporting him, and he had Jim Jeffries told how this guy was driving Porsches and very expensive cars and had a mansion and was married and had two children and met up with this other girl and had her as his mistress and had a baby with her, and then he had another girl that he had put up in another place. So he had chicks all over the place.
He did,
and banging out kids with these women and various other things. But he was just a rich kid. He was a spoiled rich kid who was just trying to get some kind of notoriety in Hollywood. And the strange thing is that nobody noticed this guy. He was pretty much forgettable. And, Jim Jeffries made the comment that even in doing a most heinous murder, nobody paid attention.
Yeah, that was kind of funny at the end when he said this guy was a nothing. He said that he's like, this guy was such a nothing that he committed the most heinous murder in history and still nobody cares.
Right.
I was like, damn, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a situation, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty brutal, and the thing is that her mother, she knew that she was in trouble and got the police to come out there, but the police basically did nothing.
Yeah, the police were like,
and by the time they did do something about it, it was too late.
Yeah, the police were like, we knocked on the door, good enough.
Yeah, nobody came to the door, nobody's home.
Well, dude, did that part, I don't know how much you've ever studied the Jeffrey Dahmer stuff, but did that not remind you a whole lot of Jeffrey Dahmer where the police showed up and just let it go?
They did a welfare check, knocked on the door. Yeah, everything's good here. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I guess I get it. There's so much, especially where every 2 seconds now you see something more fucking ridiculous than the next thing. But, it's amazing to me how many of these stories start with, well, the cops came and they didn't do anything, so then he hacked her head off.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep. So he basically chopped bits and pieces off this girl, and some of it was in different parts of the apartment, and some of it was in hefty trash bags in the dumpster.
In dumpsters and in the garbage disposal.
just chipped her away. Just chip away at the stone, chip away at the girl.
Dude, they showed that one overhead shot of the entire apartment with the luminol, I guess.
Splattered all over the place.
All over the entire house.
Yeah.
Or apartment. Like each room it looked like he'd killed 4 people because each room was just splattered beyond belief with blood splatter.
Right.
And what they say at the end when they finally got her, they found her under a blanket on the bed, and they said they only found, what did he say, a tablespoon of blood in her system?
Yeah, everything had been drained out. She'd been completely drained.
Completely drained of blood. A tablespoon of blood left in her system.
Yeah.
That's freaking nightmarish.
And she was a beautiful woman too. She was a real good looking girl.
Yeah.
But
I guess she should have had that dinner on the table on time.
Just awful.
Yeah, that story was just ridiculously crazy, and it just had elements that I thought would work with you.
Yeah,
You know, with as far as it was you worked with a comedian that we both like, and it's Hollywood, and wow.
Yeah, but again, I agree with Jim Jeffries and you. It's just like, how come we never heard this?
Yeah,
I didn't hear anything about that.
And it's not even that long ago, was it?
Yeah,
it was
well,
like
was it 2017,
17 or so. It was when you would have thought it would have been on every Twitter feed known to man.
Right.
But nothing. No, we didn't hear anything about it.
Sure.
Fuego in the chat room, she probably wouldn't shut up. Wow, the Rumble chat is a little vicious tonight. Jesus.
Wow.
That story calls for a divorce party. Yikes.
And how are our Rumblers this evening?
Well, right at the moment, there are 101 of them. So, hello, Rumblers.
Oh, Rumblers and everybody else tuned in. So,
Yes.
Glad to see you're using a non-censored platform.
That's right.
Speaking of that, did you see that deal that Trump struck up with his Truth Social?
No, this week, no.
Yeah, he sold his Truth Social for like $300 million.
How much did he spend to build it?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Who'd he sell it to?
To some media company.
Is he still on it?
I guess he is. It's some media company that's taking it public.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it was like, look it up, see if you can find it. Truth Social sells or something like that. But I mean, it was some, pretty big deal for only being, 2 years old?
Yeah. But nobody uses it. That's the crazy thing.
Somebody must be using it if somebody's willing to pay that kind of money for it.
Let's see. Trump social deal. I keep seeing that it cleared the SEC. SEC.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was the big hurdle because they didn't have a lot of hope that it would do that they would get the clearance to sell it, and the SEC gave them the approval.
The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission allowed Donald Trump's media and technology company to merge with a blank check acquisition vehicle in a deal that currently values the parent of his social media app, Truth Social, at as much as $10 billion.
Is it 10 billion?
10 billion.
10 billion. Okay.
Truth Social. Are you kidding? Truth Social doesn't have 1/100th of that on their platform.
Well, I think it has, a lot to do with, I don't know, not necessarily just Truth Social, but just the technology or something. I have no idea. I didn't follow it close enough, but I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, wow, that's a lot. The valuation is about half that of Elon Musk's much more popular social media company X, and follows 2 years of setbacks in the Trump company's quest to complete a stock market listing.
Right.
So they must have had to sign with this bigger company in order to take it pumped.
Yeah, they did. They took them in under their umbrella or whatever you want to call it to go public.
So that $350 million that Trump got hit with during the week is chump change.
Exactly.
Not that he'll ever pay it anyway, but it is chump change.
Of course. But still.
Jeez, $10 billion.
Yeah.
Good for him. I wish I could build something that nobody used or cared about that would sell for $10 billion.
Right.
That would be awesome.
You just never know how those things will work out.
I would love to know how they come up with that number to spend on it.
I don't know.
Because I am telling you, Truth Social is a dead zone. There is that and Parler are just, there's nothing going on those those platforms.
They were really trying to push that Parler for the longest time, and people were thinking that this was the competitor to Twitter before Elon bought it. But after Elon bought it and took the restrictions off, then it was back to full strength again, because people were, okay, well, we'll use X again, we'll use Twitter again, because it was people who were getting censored or they were getting booted off or whatever, because when that communist owned it,
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't
Jack
say
Dorsey. Yeah.
you couldn't say certain things, or
Mm-hmm.
you get your banned. So
Yeah.
they had to go to other free sites like Gab or Parlor or
Parlor, True
True
Social, or
Social. But then
Minds. Yeah.
when Elon took the chains off, people went back to that.
Yeah. Well, I've been putting everything on. I actually paid the $36 for a year for Twitter for CMS Network, and I know you're probably wondering why the fuck would I spend the money on any of these things, but it's because I needed to be able to message. If you don't pay the money, if you don't pay the $4 a month or whatever it is, you can't message people, and I can get a lot of guests and stuff for that $4 a month.
Right.
So it's like, so I paid the $4 a month, and plus now I can upload videos. And say what you want about Twitter, you can hate Twitter all you want, it just fucking works.
It does.
Which has been
and the thing is, it's a proven platform, obviously. I mean, it's developed. How long's Twitter been around? Like 14 years?
Yeah, it's been around a long time, yeah.
Yeah, so and the thing is since I'm a big fan of listening back to the old O&A, those guys spent so much time on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Those guys, O&A, Opie and Anthony and Jim, all they talk about on the show is Twitter.
Yeah, they were big into it.
This, and I was tweeting that, and I was answering this, and I was answering that, and we were doing the, it's just hard to believe looking back, 12, 14 years, how much discussion was surrounded by Twitter, on that show.
Yeah. You know what, Rumble chat, stop with it's X. It's Twitter, it's X. Who cares?
It's the same goddamn thing.
You know what? If you go to twitter.com, it still takes you there. So it's still Twitter as far as I'm concerned. I know you can get there too with x.com, but so what?
Right.
Go to x.com, you might fuck up and get X videos loading up or something. So I still use Twitter.
Reference it every time I say X, formerly Twitter.
Oh, I'm so tired of that. Just call it whatever. People know what it is. People know what it is. It's X, it's Twitter, whatever. But
it's been long enough. People know that X is formerly Twitter, and that Twitter is now X.
Yeah.
We all know.
All I know is that I put up the videos and stuff on there now because it works. It's quickly getting me. I'd rather use that where there's people than, I don't know, Playor, which will let me upload anything I want, and then one person will see it during the week. So, I'd rather it be there. So Twitter it is, or X, or whatever the fuck.
That social media site.
That's that other shit. Yep.
Right. Well, anyway, I just thought that was it's like, wow, look at the big money going into True Social, or what kind of a deal that was brokered there after 2 years of getting all the clearances.
Yeah, well, hey, good on Trump for the guy knows how to make money.
He does.
He could grab my mother's pussy for all I care. If he would if he would help me work with my businesses, I would take that all day long.
Right, of course.
All day long, because that guy knows how to make money. And if you say you wouldn't work with him because he says mean things, then you're a fool that does not want success in business.
It's the devil you know.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I'd let him. I'd be like, here, just tell me what to do. Tell me who to call. Tell me what to do. Tell me who to write a check to, because I'm doing it. I would definitely there are certain guys like that you just know how to make money.
Right.
And he's one of them.
Well, that's their life. That's what they do. I mean, that's his whole existence.
Right. Barden in the Rumble chat. X is the best place to watch Swedes loot and shoot. There's a lot of truth to that.
It's the Swedes.
There's a lot of truth to that. I do send you quite a few videos of the Swedes, don't I?
Yes, you do.
There's a lot of Swedish crime going on. Holy smokes.
Well, since we were talking about fucked up things on TV, my nephew turned me on. I know you don't have Netflix anymore, right?
I do have it again, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, there's another one of those fucked up stories on Netflix called Lover, Stalker, Murderer.
I think I watched that. Tell me a little bit about it, and I'll tell you if I've watched so many of these things.
Married guy, he gets divorced from his wife. He gets on Plenty of Fish, meets some chick. They headed off. They're, doing okay. But, he wasn't serious about her. She was a good hang, a good fuck.
Right.
But then he met some other girl. He was a car mechanic, and some girl that she came into the shop because her car was having a problem, and they kind of had this instant chemistry.
Right.
He started dating her, and she just disappeared one day.
Right.
But all these texts were coming through. You ruined my life. You fucked me over, you bastard. All this and that. But, long story short, the girl that he basically was fucking before he met this girl basically probably did away with her.
Right.
Got her phone and then started sending texts, to him, leading everyone to believe she was still alive, but she was just trying to eliminate everybody in his life because it's like, nobody else can have you.
God, there's a lot of fucked up people out there these days.
I can't imagine being so obsessed with somebody like that. That's bizarre.
Yeah, dude, all of it's bizarre. Dude, the world is bizarre now. What is normal in today's society? Do you see anything? I mean, dude, no. Even the most minor things. You went out this week to a show. You'd think that everybody's going to go, everybody's going to have a good time, everybody's going to rock out to their favorite songs from 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, right? That's what you think.
Yeah.
And instead, you had, what'd you say, 300 people?
Yeah.
100 of them watched that fucking show through their goddamn 3x3 screen. True?
Yeah, you're right about that.
It's like half of those people did not even go and enjoy the show as much as, I got to get footage. I got to capture all of it.
Yeah.
And for what? Who watches concerts on YouTube that are shot by phones? No one. You watch like a minute clip. That's why I always wonder why people shoot these like people that set up and they shoot like an hour and 40 minutes of a Metallica show or something. It's like, what are you doing?
Well, the one thing that I know why people shoot some of it, at least kind of like what I did. I shot 2-3 minutes of each song.
Yeah.
I did it for the fans.
Of course.
I did it for our use, not because I uploaded it to YouTube or anything like that. No. I just sent it to you. Here, maybe the fans might appreciate this. If you do, great. If you don't watch it.
Yeah, it's a little extra to give for the show.
But everybody is so narcissistic these days that everybody has a social media presence. So they shoot these videos and upload it to their social media. So they go, look where I was. Look where I was, and it's sort of like a conversation starter or get somebody to, oh man, you lucky dog. Oh yeah, you went to that. Yeah, because I'm bad. I'm badass. I went to the show.
Yeah, you're living a better life than me, you lucky son of a bitch.
Yeah. So, if it wasn't for using it for our, our members, I would have never shot any video.
Of course not. How many times before the last 2 shows did I yap at you every time you went to a show? I was like, shoot video. Yeah,
well, it just, I wasn't used to doing that. So,
it's because you're not on social media. Why would you be used to doing it?
But, I had the presence of mind to shoot some of the Wasp show that I went to. Shot some Stephen Piercy and shot some Akin and shot some, Armored Saint, and obviously this Chips Enuff show with, Glenn Hughes and, but that's just for the show.
Yeah, it's for what we're doing. If you're a fucking, accountant, there's no need for you to post up video of you at the show. Because no one gives a shit.
Right.
I mean, honestly, nobody gives two shits. This is like completely true, by the way. I saw this too and I didn't save it to bring it to the show, but it's 100% accurate. He's literally now using video that he shoots to talk about how I shot this in Vegas where I have a second house. It's like, dude, are you fucking kidding me with this shit? Ed is all up Ed's ass. That is for sure.
I don't know what it is. That is just the weirdest thing. It's just that you don't get enough recognition. You don't think that you're being, elevated to a certain echelon. You think you deserve more accolades, or what is it?
How much more accolades can this guy get?
I don't know.
I mean, short of being a rock star himself, he gets all the attention, whether it's deserved or not. He gets all of it. He gets every gig. He gets every, all the band guys, they all suck his dick whenever they see him because they want to make sure that they get played on Sirius. So they're all like, oh my God, Eddie Trunk, he's the man. He's fantastic. And every one of them.
I'd like to know what the listenership or the listener base of Sirius XM is these days.
It's probably still larger than you think because it still comes free in cars.
Yeah, well, I know what it was. When I bought the new Camaro back in December, they dialed up the Sirius XM people and they wanted me to give them my credit card and this and that. And I said, I'm not giving you my credit card because we're going to give you X amount for free. And then, if you want to continue, we'll just charge your card. And if you don't, then you can call and cancel. And I'm just like, I'm not giving you my card. I'm not interested. I already know right now that I'll cancel.
Yeah. So why even bother?
There's no sense in even bother. And the guy literally just hung up on me. He did. He didn't even, he just clicked the phone. He didn't even say, okay, we'll have a good day or nothing. He just click. He goes, well, if you just want to give me your credit card. I said, I'm not giving you my card.
Yeah. Why would you?
Well, why would I do that? I'm going to cancel. I don't want it.
Yeah. All right. Click.
Yeah. It's like, why does anybody still subscribe to Sirius XM? When they have the free days, usually over the holidays, they, like over Memorial Day weekend or, 4th of July or Labor Day, they'll do the whole weekend for free.
Yeah, sure.
And if I'm so inclined, and my nephew always makes a joke about it. Did you tune into your free Sirius XM today? So if I'm out and about, just out of curiosity, I might tune in. And it's the same old pre-programmed shit.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Just every 4 hours almost. Like if you listen to Hair Nation or something like that, they're playing the same thing again and again.
Yeah. Well, I told you I signed back up for it maybe a year ago because it was a super cheap deal. It was like $3 a month or something. It was dirt cheap. And I canceled it within 2 months. At $3 a month, I still canceled it.
It's like it's pointless.
Useless garbage, all kinds of commercials in it now. The same I don't know, 50 songs on each of the channels. And I would like to support, there's a couple people over there I'd like to support our friend Mark Striegel. But I can't justify it. I can't justify the whole $3. I'd like to support Jose Mangan, but I can't justify it. It's just there's literally a guy here and a guy there that I would like to listen to, but the overwhelming 178 of the 180 channels is shit. Even the channels I would listen to are not good. Hair Nation. What would you rather listen to, Hair Nation or Hairball John Radio?
Probably Hairball John Radio.
Hairball John Radio is just a better mix.
That's the point I was going to make. Everything I need is right here.
Yeah, it's all on there.
Yeah, you just plug it into your car if that's, if you got a fairly modern vehicle, and pull up your Spotify or pull up your your CMS
app
or whatever it is that you have, and you can hear anything you want.
Yeah.
For nothing.
For nothing. It doesn't cost a fucking penny.
Yeah. And you're not a slave to just repeat garbage.
Yeah. You're not paying for repeat garbage, more to the point. And look, for Mark, for Jose Mangan, for the few people that I do know over there, over there, Godspeed. Do well, but, take the money.
Yeah. And how long does it take Mark to do his thing? He probably sits at his computer at his home. And
I think he goes in, actually.
Really? He goes in?
I think he does. I think he does his show like live 2 days a week, but then they repurpose it like 10 other times.
You really think he's live?
I'm pretty sure he does. Because he does do some live interviews here and there, which I guess those could be recorded as well.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that it's just a program. They just program the music around his voiceovers.
No, they might. I don't know. I honestly have never talked to him about it, and hell, we could get him on here if he's allowed. I don't know if he'd be allowed. That's always a problem with us. Are they allowed?
Yeah. Pull back the curtain there, Mark. Tell us exactly how this goes on.
Yeah. Somehow I think he'll wait till he's
because I know for a fact that the original VJs from MTV pre-record all their shit.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do.
And they're spread out around the country. I think Alan Hunter lives here in Chicago.
Does he?
Yeah.
Well, it's so cheap to have a home studio now. There's no reason to go in. But
like, what's the purpose of going into Sirius XM? I mean, and with the money that they probably are not making, like the heyday, I'm sure they don't quite have the facility that they used to have. Remember the studios and stuff that they had? Remember before Sirius merged with XM? Remember that? Oh, yeah. Remember O&A's studio at XM? That was great. That was beautiful. And then they downgraded because when they
a closet.
When they moved into the Sirius building, their studio was about half the size.
Yeah, and they weren't allowed to do anything. Remember, they used to have to put the paper up on the walls to have any kind of nudity or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, well, Sirius definitely ruined O&A.
He doesn't do a show at Sirius. He does
it at Sirius, Florida location, right?
Yeah. So does Robin and Gary
all of them
involved. They don't even do the show in the studio anymore.
Well, who would know?
And we showed the footage of the musical guest, and they just go into the Sirius studio and they set up and perform, and they basically look up at the screen to see Howard watching them or who.
Yeah, wait for Howard to ask a question.
Exactly. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
And I got to give props where props are due. Who was probably one of the first people to be doing that?
Who?
Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, yeah.
He started broadcasting from his home in Palm Beach, Florida 20 plus years ago.
Yeah. It was when he had that ear problem, right? Wasn't that when he was? Was it before that?
Yeah, he built, Rush Limbaugh, at early on, he was making like 30 mil a year.
Right.
And I'm sure it escalated to quite a bit, but regardless of that, when he had his big mansion down there in Florida, he built a full-scale broadcast studio.
Right.
In his home. And all he had was the ISD lines running into the house, and he was broadcasting nationwide. They would send those, his signal to his main station, and they would just distribute it there from there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he called it the EIB network.
Okay. Did not know that.
Yeah, but Chris and I basically developed, being remote and doing a show in remote places before anybody else was doing that.
Yeah, we definitely were doing it a long time before it became like a thing. That's for sure.
Right. but because we're trailblazers and groundbreakers.
Yeah. We're just not paid like it.
All right. You got anything else?
Nah, we've rambled enough.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sufficiently warmed up.
this first hour flew by, man.
Yeah, it did. Quick.
It did go fast. So anyway, we are going to take a break. If you want to get a request in, you send in your request via the email, request@theclassicmetalshow.com, request@theclassicmetalshow.com, and I'll play your tunage.
Cool.
All right, Mr. Akin, I'll let you lead off with a tune. So what shall we play?
How about if we go with a new tune from the band High on Fire called Burning Down? It's only a single, but it's fucking really good.
All right. You call it, it says Burning Down. All right,
Yep,
there it is. Got it pulled up. All right, we'll get those requests in. We're going to play a few tunes. We'll come right back. So here it is. It's High on Fire with Burning Down exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show. Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Chris Akin from the Classic Metal Show, the Seth Williams Show, every other show in the world. Chris Akin presents. Can't remember the one with my own name in it. But I know what I do remember. This book right here, and other things I should not say. That's right, this is the book you want to buy from me, especially you CMS people that like a lot of my dirtier stories. This is the one. This is the one that has all of the stories about my running around in the military, especially in Korea. It's filthy, folks. I'm not going to tell you that it's a biblical prophecy. It is anything but. It is a dirty book, but it has a lot of stories that I really shouldn't say, hence the title. But it's a great book. It's a fun read. I encourage you to pick it up and go over to Amazon and get it. Amazon, just look up my name and other things you should not say. And if you don't want to get it there, you can get it over at chrisakin.net. It's there as well. So pick it up today. And other things I should not say, it is the latest book by me, Chris Akin. And read it and let me know what you think. All right? See ya.